So last lecture we spent the majority of the time talking about the transition from a command system to the market system in Europe, right? And that the transition took place from the changes in feudalism through mercantilism towards capitalism. So we saw how Heilbronner conceptualized the necessary institutional changes that had to take place in order for this transition to happen. Now let's talk a little bit about the market system. We already discussed a few features of the system, and this system is probably the one that requires this explanation because it's the system we are in right now. So it was the emergence of this market system where several decentralized independent decisions are being taken at the same moment. They are still organized in a way that allow us to produce and reproduce ourselves. So it's to uncover the rules that govern the market system that political economy emerged in the approximately 1800s. So the market system, as we discussed, is mostly governed by competition, supply and demand, price mechanisms, and haggling of the market, right? And we are very familiar with all these concepts from our previous economic classes. Now, just to summarize the three economic systems that we have observed historically are traditional, command and market, and then Heilbronner talk about this concept of embeddedness. So he'll say, well, in traditional societies, the economy, the decisions, the economic question of who is going to do what and who is going to get what, those decisions are embedded in cultural institutions, in the habits and norms of each community. In command, on the other hand, the decisions of what to produce, how to produce, and how to distribute are embedded in political institutions. And then, according to Heilbronner, the market system, or in a market society, for the first time, economic institutions are the ones governing production and distribution. So the economy became disembedded, right? Now we can raise a question about that, because the truth is that no empirical observed system is a pure system of any type, traditional, command, or market, right? We discussed that, for instance, even in some traditional societies, there were exchanges, right? There weren't markets, but there were exchanges, and there was a certain, not a very distinguishable hierarchy, but there was a certain hierarchy where the elders were the brains of the community, right? The ones that would think about what is going on. Not necessarily they are making the decisions, but they are the ones raising the questions that the community will address, right? So most historical societies that we observe, there is a combination of the three, right? In command system, like we discussed, in feudalism, there were markets in the edges of society, right? What about our current system? Can you think about any examples of tradition or command in our current system. So take some time and think about that, and then we'll discuss this question in class. So I'll repeat the question. In our current system, can you observe institutions that are embedded in tradition or command? Okay? So we'll discuss that later today.